Rectangular back with another haul video. This time we have some miniature playing cards. After getting my bullseye recently and seeing my Facebook friend Michael Whisman's awesome photographs of him posing his bullseye throwing cards at Spider-Man, decided that I need to get some for myself. So I got these off of eBay. I think they were $4 with shipping. And what most people do is print them out using their own printer and cut them out, but at the moment we're printer deprived, so I could print them out at work, but it's actually seems a little bit on the time and labor expense side to go through all the hassle of cutting them. Number one, you got to get the scale just right, printing wise, and then you have to cut them just right. And I figured for $4, there were $2 plus $2 for shipping. So for me, it's not worth the hassle of having to try to get these cut just right. I'm getting up in age, and I'm getting to the point where I'm probably going to need bifocals here pretty soon. So it's pretty easy for me to make a mistake with cutting really tiny things out like this. So just figured it's worth $4 for me, just for scale. There's a little gun that goes with a shield agent, or I think even Hitmonkey uses the same. I think it's supposed to be a SIG or a Glock. I think it's supposed to be a SIG actually. Anyway, so yeah, pretty cool. I haven't taken them out of the package to see how stiff they are. Hopefully they can take a beating. They come in different this seller had them with green, blue, black, or red backing, and I figured green would work well because Bullseye is black and white, and if I am having him fight Daredevil or Spider-Man, those guys are red, and having if I'm using them in a shot with either of those figures, I didn't want the red of those costumes to make the cards just kind of disappear. So I picked green, and I think these turned out pretty nice. I like them. Alright, moving on to the next item. Next up, from the Lord of the Rings, we have these Gollum / Smeagol figures. These are the bendy type, and not sure if they're knockoffs or not. I got them from a Chinese seller on eBay, and didn't really care, just using them. I just wanted the most inexpensive figures that I could find. Then I'm going to be making these into moloids to go with my mole man, so I will need to sculpt some glasses on them. I am glad that I got two of the articulated ones, because although these are bendy, they're kind of hard to adjust the pose on them, as I don't feel that the wire in there is all that robust. You can't really you really have to work a lot to get them to move much. So in comparison, let's get all the articulated ones that I got just so you can see the difference. They are pretty much the same size. Let's take a couple of these out of the way, and you can see, if he's got his knees bent, they're about the same size, but the articulate one is, if he stands up straight, a little bit taller than the others. Not a whole lot, but better paint detail. He's got his nipples painted. And then I'm actually surprised in how much paint detail there are on the bendy ones. Just have some pretty decent shading in some areas. Not as good as the articulated one. Does have some painted hair. Some of them, they're pretty inconsistent. Some of them have more paint on them than others. That one's pretty faint. So not bad. I think because they combine shipping, I think that was like $20 for the 4 of them shipped. I think that's what it was. But oh yeah, see I just got them out of the package and just took a quick second to get them to stand up. So anyway, though, will work for basic scenes. Not going to do anything super crazy with them. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the next item. Next up we have the Marvel Legends Daredevil, aka Matt Murdock, aka the Man Without Fear. Very cool figure. This is the version from the Urban Legends gift set or box set, and I believe that came with an Elektra and a Spider-Man. God, I can't remember who all came with it. I think a couple of Spider-Man villains as well. But yeah, I really like this figure a lot. I've always kind of had a preference for this dark shading on the costume. I do like the Spider-Man Classics one, which this is basically the exact same figure except for the paint scheme. It just has a dark wash on it. I think that it'll just help with putting him in scenes that are at dark at night, things like that, where he's just in the shadows more, and I just think it's kind of a more realistic depiction. I know that in the comics his costume is pretty bright red, but if I was the character, I think that I would want something a little more subdued, and I just think it looks badass. So he did come complete. I got him off of eBay, and I got a really good deal. I think I paid $14 and a quarter for him shipped, and he's in really good shape. The only thing I've noticed since I got a better look at him is the arm peg is coming out just a bit. So I'm hoping that if I heat it up I can pop it back on, because I would hate to try to replace that peg. I think the rest, his ankle is a little bit wide down there, but it's not nearly as bad as the elbow there on the right arm. He does have ankle pivot, but it's really tight on the right side. I'll have to heat him up and see if I can loosen that up. And this one does work a little better, but kind of afraid to overdo it. It does rock back and forth just a bit. Otherwise, he's in really good shape. The paint at the joints is scraping off a little bit, which is to be expected, but it doesn't really look he's been messed with a whole lot. His neck is probably the loosest joint on the figure, but that's pretty easy to tighten up. And pretty happy with the paint apps overall. It does have a little scuff on his chin, But really like this figure over some of the other versions because he has closed hands. I always find that when you have a figure with articulated hands that hold weapons, that so it can be a challenge to try to keep those tight so that they, well, it can actually hold stuff or it just falls right out of their hand, at least for me. These are pretty closed hands, so I'm hoping that if I heat them up I can open them to get his weapons to fit in there, although the weapons are a little skinnier than I thought they would be. Or weapon. It's got the billy club on a rope. Technically not nunchucks. So anyway, very cool figure, and it's gonna be a lot of fun to pose with my Bullseye and Elektra and Spider-Man, especially on that gigantic rooftop that I have. It looks like his knee is a little bit loose. There, nothing I can't tighten up. It's like some of those joints are really stiff, and some of them are a little loose. So just needs a little TLC to get him back into good posing condition. All right, let's go ahead and show what else I got. There we go. So after investing in Spider-Man, Bullseye, Elektra, and now Daredevil, my street level heroes setup wouldn't be complete without Kingpin. So I needed to have him to complete my family of villains and heroes, and I got him off of eBay. He was missing, or is missing, his cane, so I'm gonna have to probably make my own, which isn't a big deal. A lot of the ones I've seen online, the cane was pretty bent, so this will give me an opportunity to make one that's just perfect size for him. And he's in really good condition. He's got a little bit of paint scuffs on his back, on the white areas there. Just one on his elbow. I think that was pretty much it. His joints are in really good condition. In fact, he's really stiff. Just thank goodness in the legs, because he's so top heavy. Not a bad figure. Don't have a whole lot to say about him. I know most people complain about the articulation. I guess the only thing he really needs is a wrist swivel. You can't really get him. He's got a bend at the bicep if you want to have him, walking, holding his cane, because they didn't give him a wrist swivel, which really doesn't make any sense, because he does use that cane, and it's not like they didn't have space. I mean, big figures, it's pretty easy to add articulation on. It's on smaller figures it's more of an issue. It's probably part of the reason that the females in the Marvel Legends line are fairly poor on the articulation side. So anyway, he's gonna go great with all my other So anyway, he's going to go great with all the rest of my... God damn it. So anyway, he's going to go great with all of my street level heroes. That'll make Bullseye and Kingpin excellent foes for my Daredevil and Spider-Man. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the next item. Speaking of foes for Daredevil and Spider-Man, Spider-Man in particular, we have the Series 8 Doc Ock. And I was very lucky to find this guy for a decent price. Had seen him on Amazon for $30 with shipping, and on eBay about the same time I was looking, he was well over $30. And recently I did see a few sell for less than that, but that seems to be the typical price for this guy. Guess he's pretty sought after because the other Doc Ocks are not nearly as good. I got him on a different website for $22 with shipping, so I was really happy. And I guess the reason he was pretty cheap is that the packaging is pretty yellow, so a lot of mint on card collectors wouldn't want something that's got such yellowed packaging, but since I don't care about keeping my figures mint on card for the most part, I'm gonna tear him open and let's get a better look at him. Okay, here we have Doc Ock out of the package, and must say that this is an extremely cool figure. I'm glad that I started getting into villains for my Spider-Man and Daredevil, although I think he only has a run-in with Daredevil maybe twice in the comics. I'm not too sure. If you know of more, please let me know. But wow, they just don't make figures like this anymore. This is an old Toy Biz figure, and it's got great paint shading on it. And before I get into the figure too much, I just want to show the base that he comes with. Kind of cool. I guess it's supposed to be webs that I don't know if it's supposed to be Spider-Man's webs or some sort of mechanical contraption that he is using. I probably won't ever use it, but it's cool that he comes with the base anyway. Alright, so he does have some paint shading on him, where it's mostly a green figure with yellow, shades of yellow mixed in, and only paint flaws that I really noticed are on his hands. On the left hand he's got a little chip of paint missing. He's right out of the package, and I'm guessing just over time it just flaked off. Either that or it was just a defect from the factory. And then on the other side it does have a chip on the back of the hand as well. So hopefully I can mix up some paint to try to match that. Otherwise, everything else looks great on him. Pretty cool head sculpt. And the glasses, I don't know if they're completely removable. They do move. You can see his eyes under there. Just have like really deep blue eyes. Which I don't know how much he appears without his glasses in the comics. Very cool. And the cables just plug into his back. And I was checking out the back of the comic book that he comes with, and it's pretty interesting that they usually show the prototypes for these figures in the comic books, and before the figure gets released. Hasbro still, Toy Biz did that, and Hasbro still does this same thing, because I think the prototypes are generally hand painted. So anyway, the thing I noticed was that the tentacles on the prototype were they had like segmented joints on them. So I think they initially were going to do like hard plastic and then have them jointed. And excuse me, I'm really glad that they didn't, because I think this flexible idea with a wire inside gives you a lot more options posability wise. You can totally be grabbing something, holding it up in front of him, and I like that a lot better than if I had to deal with joints. Then you're really limited on what you can do. This gives you almost endless possibilities for posing, and I really like how these are articulated so you can clamp things. You can grab stuff, probably pretty small items as well. So very, very cool figure. Extremely happy that I was able to find him for a good price, because these older Toy Biz figures are getting much more difficult to find. Alright, so hopefully you guys liked the video. Please share with your friends. Don't forget to hit like, and I would love to hear back from you, so leave a comment below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.